You're proposing, Miriam, that it shouldn't just be the company, the social media companies, that are liable for any material that young people see that they shouldn't, that the directors should be personally liable. Why do you think that change is needed in this particular area?
Because the change that needs to happen in these tech companies is pretty significant. The apps and the platforms need to become a lot safer for children by design. And we think that although fines are necessary, of course, when companies break the law, we don't think that will be enough to drive the kind of radical change that is needed in the tech boardrooms. And in other sectors, for example, the construction industry, the financial services industry, this idea is used of senior manager liability. So, for example, on a building site, if there's an accident and someone dies or is harmed, yes, the company can be taken to court, but also individual site managers can also be prosecuted if it can be proven that they have knowingly or negligently failed to keep the public safe. So it's the same principle that's already in our law, and we just believe that without that threat of personal liability, we just will not see the change that is necessary.
So you've got enough Conservative MPs to sign your amendment to potentially defeat the government next week if all the other political parties join with you. So what discussions have you been having with the other political parties, with the government, to try and get this amendment through? Or do the government genuinely face defeat next week?
Well, we know that Labour intend to support the amendment. They've supported similar amendments in the past. And as you said, I think we are now on about 48 Conservative MPs who are backing the amendment. But we're not doing this to inflict a defeat on the government. We want to win a victory for children. And so, of course, we are in discussions with the government. They do want to work with us. And we have had an approach quite late last night, so we haven't really had time to consider it yet, about what the government intends. So I'm leading on this with Sir Bill Cash. We'll be discussing that over the coming day. But yes, the government is keen to work with us. But we are very clear that there has to be this threat of personal criminal liability for directors in order to bring the change that we need. And it's happening in Ireland. They've instigated some
Miriam, just one point, just a quick answer if you can. I see in the Times today that the former Attorney General, Sir Jeremy Wright, has said that actually thinks the scope is too wide and that actually it won't really help and be effective because it's too wide, the scope, what you are looking to do. So what's your answer there?
Well, we've deliberately kept the scope of the amendment to child safety duties. So we're not trying to criminalise directors for the broader aims of the bill, no impact on free speech, on anything like that. It's very narrowly about the child safety duties. But it may be that in the House of Lords, we need to narrow down further which specific duties they are. That's perfectly reasonable. But it doesn't change the argument that we absolutely need this act of criminal liability to be prosecutable. That's what we need to get in the bill at this stage. And yes, of course, those details could be worked out in the Lords.